Okay, good morning, fifth graders. Today we are going to be starting the food web project. Instead of doing it on Google Classroom like we did with the food chain project, we're going to be doing this on paper. I have a whole bunch of yellow construction paper, the big stuff, on the table in front of the clear touch board. That's what you're going to be making it on. So here are the directions for the food web. It says on the next slide, I'd like you to make a food web. Like I said, we're not doing it on Google Slides unless you're distance, and you'll be doing it on a Google slide. On your piece of construction paper, you're going to need to include a few things. It is a food web, so you need producers to start the food web. You do not need to include the sun. Consumers, and actually, I'm going to get rid of this part right here. No decomposers, but you do need producers and consumers. If we use decomposers, it just gets too crazy because all of the arrows point to the decomposers. So we're going to make a food web using producers and consumers. You need to draw a neat picture. Neat is the key word. You cannot do stick figures. You can't just do like scribbles. You need to actually try on these drawings. I know not all of us are Vincent van Gogh. I am not especially, but I want you to put in your best effort here. So draw a neat picture for each organism. You're going to need to label them. I'd like you to tell me what their name is, and for each organism, I need you to tell me if they're a producer, an herbivore, an omnivore, a carnivore, or a scavenger. Okay, so you need to tell me what type of consumer they are. Your food web needs to include at least 15 organisms. That includes producers and consumers, so 15 organisms total. You can do more if you want, but you need at least 15. You need arrows that show the direction of energy flow. So remember, if a cow eats grass, the energy goes from the grass to the cow, not the reverse. So your arrow needs to be pointing from grass to cow, not cow to grass. As you can see here, it is a food web. This is an example from one of the other fifth grade classes. You can have arrows pointing to an animal or an organism more than once and pointing away more than once. So it's a web, not a food chain. It does not have to be a straight line with 15 organisms. It's a web. They all need to be interconnected. Most organisms get their energy from more than one place, or more than one thing eats it. So you want to have as many arrows to the correct places as they're supposed to go. This is a web, not a food chain. Okay. If you're forgetful about what a food chain is compared to a food web, I would look back at your notes. You all have notes. Make sure you're looking at them if you're getting confused, and make sure you're drawing the arrows correctly. Finally, this can be from any ecosystem in the world. Meaning you could do the desert in Arizona, you could do the mountains in Peru, you could do the Amazon rainforest, you could do the savanna in Africa, the jungle in Africa. You could do the Sahara Desert, you could do the Gobi Desert. Australia, New Zealand, does not matter. You can pick any ecosystem, but if you pick an ecosystem, you can only do organisms in that ecosystem. So for example, you are not going to have a leopard eating a moose because they're not in the same ecosystem, right? A leopard probably could eat a moose if they lived in the same place, but they don't, okay? So make sure if you're picking an ecosystem that you're sticking with just animals in that ecosystem. Okay, now reminder, good drawings. This person has done a good job drawing their animals and their organisms. You need at least 15. I have colored pencils on the like the counter by the window, and I want you to put your best effort into this. I have construction paper on the table. If you have any questions, please let the substitute know. Have a great day, everyone, and make sure you're trying your best on this project. It is not due at the end of the hour. It is due it's not going to be due until at least Thursday. Okay, so don't worry about finishing it today, but get a good start on it. Okay. Okay. Have a good day, fifth graders.